how would you describe this week, the shift to having a long week after bouncing back with a good result at home?
It's been great. We've been able to work with the players individually in groups, but also in team function as well. So we like creating and building training sessions and implementing those. It gives us a chance as an organization and a group to continue to grow and to improve on areas where we've come up a little short in the last couple of weeks.
In terms of that team function, what are some of the things that you want to see moving forward?
Well, I think creating more quality chances is something we've been talking about without letting up any. I think that's finding that balance again is important to us. And from what I saw this week, the players have accepted that and have made some great changes.
That chemistry up front, like, are you seeing more of that? We saw last game where like Olivier was involved, then he got to score in MLS. Just overall, how are those pieces coming together?
We have 6 very good attackers on this team, and some very good attackers on our second team who have helped out too. And I see a LAFC at its best when we use all of them. And it's just finding the right mix and the right amount of time for each one and the right moments against the right opponents. And that's our priority, is to get those decisions right.
Eduardo? Yeah. Hey, Coach. Can you give us an update on Martinez? Is he good to go for the weekend? And just your thoughts on playing Providence Park, always a difficult place to play.
Yeah. David is ready to go, fully functioning and fit, and we're happy to have him back. The same would apply to Jeremy Abubise. So we're happy to have a full roster up front. And Providence Park is difficult to play, but we've been able to get some results over the past couple of years there. But it's one of the better atmospheres in our league, and I really enjoy, me personally, also getting back to Portland, where I was able to study for a few years. And so it's an enjoyable trip for sure, but certainly a competitive environment to play in, and Portland has shown this year they're a team to reckon with.
And just your thoughts on the FIFA Club World Cup, there was a lot of talk about that. Just your thoughts on potentially playing?
I'll be very, very frank and honest. I don't have a lot of time to spend time on that thought and to put energy into that thought yet until the appeals court makes a final decision, and when they do, then we can talk about it. But until then, my plate is full.
Yeah, go ahead.
In terms of Kelsey, we saw the impact he had for Portland last game, and he has that background, same as David, that youth defense on national team. Just what have you seen from him, and what will he percentage for the game?
Yeah, I think he knows where to be to score goals. I think it's clear. He showed that in Cincinnati for the short amount of time he was there, and he's done a great job so far in Portland. He's just an attacker you have to keep your eye on. You have to keep him close. He also has a physical presence and knows, I think, where to be in the box. He's a finisher. We dealt with San Jose's obviously very accomplished finishers last weekend very well, with Espinoza, Chicho, and Martinez. And Portland's kind of the same with their front four. They have 4 very good attackers and always dangerous. But we have the ability to shut them down.
Next, we will go online. Josh Gross, go ahead.
Hi, thanks, Steve. Do you have an update on Maxime Chanot, what the situation is and what his prognosis is?
Max is not training currently. Prognosis I do not have.
Okay. And, he fell sort of on his own after that goal. How unusual was that for you? And, what was the situation with that?
Yeah, unclear, and no real injury there to report or situation. So it could be a mix of many things, but nothing to report.
All right. As far as how do you feel the roster you're working with looks at this point of the year? The transfer window's closing in less than a week. Do you expect that this is the group through the summer for you?
I think we have the ability, for sure, to make changes, and we're doing our best to add quality in areas of field where we think we're a bit thin. And I think just judging by the last couple of weeks, I think we haven't been as prolific as we'd like to be. We don't feel like we do not have the players or the game model to start scoring again, so we feel that's just a matter of time. There are some, I think, in the middle of the park, if we continue to play with the same players all the time, then there could be a fatigue issue setting in, and if you're one injury away of some more issues. So, I think that's also an area where we might look to make changes, or additions, better said, not changes. But sometimes the market dictates what you do and what you don't do, so we'll just have to wait and see how this week plays out.
Okay, and for you, you're seeing a general health overall is good at this stage, and you mentioned that the depth in attack with players coming back across the roster. You feel like you have full options.
I do, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next, we will go to Daniel Adams. Daniel, go ahead.
Hi, Steve. We're a few days after the San Jose win, and some fans are still feeling uneasy about the team's overall consistency this season. What would you say to the supporters who are concerned about the up and down performances so far?
We share the same thoughts. Nobody's happy with winning or losing and nothing in between. It's not how we anticipated the season going, but for those who have never done it, I would say it's very difficult to start the season with 8 games in 4 weeks and then take a week off and then do it again. Our roster's not built for that, and there has been some inconsistency with the performances. Something that we're working on, and I would say for those who watched the San Jose game, and I can tell you the physical numbers that our players put up in that game after the week we had and the road trip we had is incredible, and it shows the ability of our players, it shows the mentality of our players and our roster, and frankly our organization. So I would tell them, rest assured we'll figure it out, but sometimes these inconsistencies happen.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ryan, just how you describe how this week has been like a longer week now, focusing on that game against Portland.
Yeah, it's good to have a little bit of a midweek break in some ways and bad in other ways. I think we're just trying to get everybody healthy, get everybody back, use the time that we can to get bodies back and get legs back. There's a time where you're just pushing, and it accumulates over your body. And so to give the bodies a rest, make sure everybody's back to getting to kind of 100% health and ready to play is going to be big for us, especially for, a lot more season to come. So preparing for Portland, getting ready for them, and they're going to be a hard test, of course, in their stadium with their fans. It's a tough place to play.
That game against San Jose, just the way the team responded, bounced back after a difficult week, and what you guys showed on the field, not just on the offensive side, but also the defensive side, because of what they have been showing. Just what did that say about the group?
Yeah, it's a big win, and coming off of a really emotional defeat in a game against Miami that we feel like we should win and advance in CONCACAF, and things don't go our way. It's hard to then come back 3 days later and put in a meaningful performance at home where we really can't lose points, and to stop an attack like you've said, like they have had. That's been really difficult to stop. So I think it proved a lot to us in who we are as a team and what we can do, but it also was a reminder that if we want to do something special this year and win trophies, we've got to have that sort of performance every game, and that means defensively and offensively.
Speaking of trophies, and on a different topic, the fact that, even though it's not official yet, but the fact that LAFC is being considered to have a shot at playing at the Club World Cup, just for you guys as players and for the club, being in that mix and maybe potentially having that opportunity, what would that mean?
Yeah, I mean a ton. It's one of the biggest events that you can play in as a footballer. The guys, obviously, we're talking about it internally. We're doing everything we can to put our name in the hat and put our reasoning why we deserve to be there. And if we do get a chance to fight for it, we'll give everything we've got. The chance to enter into a tournament of that sort of caliber clubs, those caliber players, and put our names in the hat is what we have wanted to do at LAFC since the club started. So it's a big opportunity for us. Another, like you said, another way that LAFC can separate itself in terms of, you talk about trophies and those sorts of things, but another way we can separate ourselves in getting us to the biggest stages, which is where we want to be. So it's not our decision if we get to have that game or not, but the players will 100% be ready for it. Yeah.
Edward? All right, we'll go to questions online. Daniel, go ahead.
Hey Ryan. Hey, in moments like the Miami match where things got tough, it seemed like the team struggled to regroup on the field. And as someone who's seen as a leader in the squad, even without the captain's armband, how does the team manage leadership in those moments? And as one of the experienced voices, who do you see stepping up to guide the group when the adversity hits?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's a tough one, especially a game like that. It's so much more than football. You know, there's so much emotion that goes into the game. There's so much momentum, and you kind of get stuck in these rhythms of the game that are really difficult to get out of, and there's not an easy solve. And so I don't think it's a lack of communication. I don't think it's a lack of guys having those conversations. I mean, I could point to a handful of guys, including myself, that are talking the entire time and organizing and trying to give the team what it needs to get out of that rhythm and get into a new rhythm. And it's just difficult. That's the game. You see it at the highest of levels, where you just get stuck in these sorts of rhythms and these positions in the game, and it's hard to reassert yourself and get out of that. So frustrating to watch it back, frustrating to be a part of that sort of game. But in terms of like who can step up and say something, I don't think there's a guy on the team that wasn't saying something or willing to take the criticism, or like it wasn't a communication problem. It was I'd put my finger on a different sort of problem.
Absolutely. And what do you feel like the vibe is like now after, that pressure and the expectations from the Champions Cup is gone? What can we expect from the team going forward?
Well, yeah, I mean, first and foremost, it's frustration, it's anger, it's sadness, it's a tournament that we felt like we could win, and a tournament that we put ourselves in a phenomenal spot to advance and to put ourselves in the next round and to go win it. And so to come up short in that way, like we did, especially going up a goal on the road, it's just like, it's going to be hard to let that one go. But that's what football is. You got to move on. It's all about the next opportunity. There's no going back now. It's too late now. So you've got to just move forward. And we still have our eyes set on doing something special this year. And so to do that now, we've got to go make up some points in the league, points that we dropped for, rotating squads or whatever, but points that we now got to go make up in the league. And then we've got to put ourselves in the best spot we can for the other opportunities that are also coming. So, man, as a footballer, you just got to have a short memory. As hard as it is, you got to have a short memory and move on to the next thing in front of you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Okay, Josh Gross, go ahead.
Thanks. Hey, Ryan. Along those lines, CONCACAF ended up not going the way you wanted it to, but there, along the way you did slay Columbus, which was a big win for you guys. And I'm wondering, sort of from a confidence perspective, how long that lingers in the experience, even though it didn't go your way, and just your overall thoughts on the tournament, the way you guys navigated it, and the sort of ups and downs that came with inside the league with that. That's a little different experience than you've had, and other teams have managed it. Vancouver and Miami have managed that this year in the league. So where do you guys think you fell short there as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, we're not like worried about who we beat in the first round of CONCACAF or the second round. Like, our goal was to win it, and our eyes were set on lifting a trophy, and we felt like we were in a perfect position to do that, or and at least to advance to that next round. And the way that the tournament was setting up, it just looked really good for us. So I don't know that there's like a confidence on beating earlier opponents. I don't buy into that, especially here at this club. Like, our goal isn't to just get far in tournaments. Our goal is to win trophies, and so anytime we fall short of that, it's a letdown. I feel that even more as I get older and further in my career. It's like, hey, I don't know how many more runs I have at this, and say I've got 3 more years left in these legs. Like, I don't want to lose these years of trophies that we can be winning and tournaments we can be winning, and just thinking like, we can get them next year. So that's frustrating. And then another side of that is it's really difficult as a coach and as a club to balance, like, how much do you rotate, save legs for CONCACAF and try to make a good run in CONCACAF, and how much do you just push through and play your starting 11 every game every 3 days. And that's a coaching decision, not a player decision, but a coaching decision, and everybody's got their thoughts and views on it. Our view was, let's rotate and try to get as prepared and ready for CONCACAF as possible. And because of that, we lost some points in the league that now we got to make up, and we're not afraid of that. We think we can make those points up and make a run, but now there's no wiggle room. So now we've got to go do it, and there's very few points that we can drop if we want to compete for things at the top of the table. So we've put ourselves in that position, and I think we're adult enough to answer those questions and make it happen.
Thanks. And one thing Steve mentioned was a thing of focus you practice, you trained on, you're thinking about is chance creation as a group. Where are you seeing some of the differences, maybe some of the difficulties in terms of getting that, not necessarily final pass, but getting the goal? Where are things just not been as effective this year as they have been in the past?
Yeah, that's a good question. Hard to pinpoint as well. I think San Jose was a really good rebound for us, where we created a lot of chances, tons of box entries. And yeah, there's always a way that we can be a little bit more clinical in the box with the final pass, the final action, ultimately scoring goals. But I think coming back in San Jose, having a ton of good chances, tons of box entries, and 2 goals is a step in the right direction. So no need to sound the alarm, especially with our attack and the way that we play. But definitely now, especially with these weeks in between where we've got time, it's time to work on those things and make sure that we dial those in for the rest of the season going forward.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. That'll do it. Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys. Thanks.
How would you describe the last few weeks since your arrival? You had to step right into the field with your teammates, play in some big matches. Just how has this past month been for you?
Soruyu anladım. Ben direkt konuşayım. Sen çevirirsin benim söylediklerim. Geldiğimden beri güzel geçen zamanlarım çok oldu. Burada olduğum için gerçekten çok mutluyum. Kendimi iyi hissediyorum. Geldiğimden beri özellikle çok fazla deplasman maçları oldu. Bu süreç aslında benim için biraz zordu, çünkü sürekli seyahat halinde olmak gerçekten zor. Bir de çok uzun süreli uçak yolculuğu kolay değil. Son haftalarda da iyi giden zamanlar da oldu, üzüldüğümüz zamanlar da oldu. Ama her zaman diğer maça hazır olmamız gerekiyor. Yani açıkçası benim için burada olmak gerçekten keyif verici bir şey. Dediğim gibi beni en çok zorlayan şeylerden bir tanesi de seyahatler çok oluyor. Yaptığımız deplasman maçları, uzun yolculuklar. Bu kadar.
Teşekkür ederim. I have many good times here. I'm truly happy to be here, and I feel good. Since I arrived, there have been a lot of away games in particular. This period has actually been a bit difficult for me because constantly being on the road is really tough, and really long haul flights aren't easy either. In recent weeks, there have been both good times and moments of disappointment as well. But we always have to be ready for the next match. Honestly, being in here is something that is bringing me a joy. What I can say is one of the most challenging things for me has been the constant travel and long travels. The away games we have to play and the long trips. That's all. Thank you.
Steve was just talking about how one of the goals during training and moving forward is to create chances and be better in attack. Just how do you feel you guys are building that understanding between the attackers?
Bunu biraz çevirebilir misin biraz?
Tabii ki. Steve Steve şeyi soruyor. Bu atak yönünde gol kayıtları yani golleri üretmek adına, atakları üretmek adına çalışmalar yaptığınızı bu seninle ilgili ne hissettiriyor? Daha çok atak üzerine çalıştığınıza dair.
Evet, bu
Son antrenmanlarda bundan sonraki temel hedeflerden biri de bu olduğunu söylüyor. Bu noktada hücum oyuncuları yani sen anlayış uyumunun nasıl geliştiğini düşünüyorsun
Evet.
hücum oyuncularıyla?
Evet, bu bizim için çok önemli bir şey. Özellikle gol yollarında daha etkili olmamız gerekiyor. Kendi açımdan da söylüyorum. Hocamız doğru söylüyor ve bunun için daha çok çalışıyoruz. Kendimizi bu yönde daha çok geliştirmeliyiz. Girdiğimiz çok pozisyon oluyor. Özellikle Miami maçında da çok oldu girdiğimiz gol şansı. Bunları belki iyi değerlendirebilseydik hepimiz farklı bir konuda konuşmuş olurduk. Şu an bunun üstünde çalışıyoruz. Gol yollarında bütün hücum oyuncuları olarak hepimiz çok daha iyi olmalıyız ve olacağımıza inanıyorum.
It's something very important for us, especially being more effective in the front of the goal. I'm speaking for myself as well. Our coach is absolutely right, and we're working harder on this. We need to improve ourselves more in that direction in attacking. We are getting into a lot of goal scoring positions, especially the Miami match. We had several chances. If we had taken those opportunities better, we might have a completely different conversation right now. We're currently working on it, and we will be better in this sense. As attacking players, all of us need to be better in front of the goal, and I'm confident that we can do it. We will do it.
Eduardo, any questions? All right. Are there any questions online? Josh Gross? Josh, go ahead.
Hi, thank you for your time. You've said that you'd like to see more aggression, more the team to be more aggressive. Have you seen that? And when you say that, what are you really speaking about? What would you like to see?
Çevirmek ister misin?
Aha.
Bu attacking konusunda hedefin olduğunu ve bununla ilgili çalıştığını söyledin. Bu konuda ne görmek istiyorsun tam olarak?
Bu konuda ne görmek istiyorum?
Yani nasıl görmek istiyorsun bunu? Yani ne üzerine çalışıyorsun ve bu konudaki hedeflerin daha şey anlatmaya çalışıyor. Atak konusunda önemini daha az önce söyledin. Bu atak etme konusunda ne görmek istiyorsun sahada?
Yani daha şu an ben de yeni olduğum için birbirimizi daha iyi anlamaya başladık takım arkadaşlarımla. Daha fazla topla buluşup ceza sahasında, ceza sahası dışında kendimce daha fazla şut şansı yaratıp bu konuda daha etkili olabileceğimi düşünüyorum kendi açımdan. Tüm arkadaşlarımla birlikte aynı şekilde düşünüyoruz yani. Bu konu soruyu tam net olarak anlayamadım ama anladığım kadarıyla anlatmaya çalışıyorum. Agresiflikten kasıt ne var onu anlamadım.
İşte aynen tam olarak da o. Yani daha çok gol hücumu mu sağlamak istiyorsun?
Golü
Daha çok kanatlardan mı gitmek istiyorsun? Yani bunu nasıl görmek istiyorsun teknik olarak?
ya başta zaten agresif olmamızı zaten belirttim. Bu konuda da zaten daha iyi olduğumuzu düşünüyorum. Gol yollarında da daha fazla şans üretmeliyiz. Bu kadar.
So I already mentioned earlier how important the attacking aspect of how much matters. From my perspective, I think we can be more effective by creating more clear chances, and I believe my teammates feel the same way. Exactly, that's the point. Whether it's about creating more acting players or going to the goal, it's really important. From the beginning, as I said, we need to be more aggressive, and I think we made really good progress there. But still, we need to create more goal scoring chances to be more productive in the field in the final.
If I could follow up, where is it not working right now? Where are there areas that he sees that could improve, should improve, that are clear?
Sence ne taraf çalışmıyor? Daha çok nereye geliştirebiliriz? Bu konu daha çok nereye geliştirebilirsiniz? Bu konuda yorumlarını alabilir miyim?
Bu konuda bunu söyleyecek kişinin ben olduğunu düşünmüyorum. Bu konuda en iyi cevabımızı zaten hocamız, kararları veren kişi ve bu konu hakkında da onun düşüncelerine saygı duyuyoruz. Neyimiz eksikse zaten ona göre biz çalışıyoruz.
I think I'm not the person that I need to talk about this. We really trust our coach, and he's working on this matter so hard. So we will listen him, and then we will act accordingly. Whatever we are lacking, we're already working on it, and based on his guidance.
I understand. Thank you.
Teşekkürler.
Okay. Last question, Daniel Adams.
Hello, Cengiz. How do you feel about the team's overall style of play, and how comfortable are you with the role that you are being asked to take on within the system?
Çevirmemi ister misin Cengiz? Çevirmemi ister misin?
Tabii.
Takım genel oyun tarzı hakkında ne düşünüyorsun? Siz de bu sistem içinde verilen rol konusunda ne kadar rahat hissediyorsun?
Bir daha söyleyebilir misin?
Tabii ki. Takımı genel oyun tarzı hakkında ne düşünüyorsun? Tam olarak bunu sordular. Ve sen bu sistem içinde kendine verilen rol içinde ne kadar rahat hissediyorsun?
Ya kendimi saha içinde rahat hissediyorum buraya geldiğimden beri. Tabii ki de benim için de bazı şeyler zor olabiliyor. Takım arkadaşlarımın bana alışması, benim onlara alışmam. Zamanla birbirimizi daha iyi anlayabiliyoruz. Daha fazla topla buluştuğum zaman çok daha fazla tehlike yaratacağımı düşünüyorum kendi açımdan. Bunun için de sürekli takım arkadaşlarımla iletişim halinde oluyorum. Birbirimize yardım etmeye çalışıyoruz. Bu konuda da zaman geçtikçe de kendi açımdan çok daha iyi olacağını düşünüyorum. Her zaman saha içinde olmayı isteyen bir oyuncuyum. Şu anda kendimi iyi hissediyorum. Bunu da sahaya en iyi şekilde yansıtacağımı düşünüyorum.
Teşekkürler. I feel comfortable on the field since I arrived here. Of course, there is still challenges for me, getting used to my teammates and vice versa. Over the time, we're starting to understand each other better. I believe the more we connect with each other on the ball, the more danger we can create with my teammates. For that, I stay in constant communication with my teammates. That's how I solve it. We are trying to help each other out, and I think with the time it will be getting better and get better from my side. I'm always a player who wants to be on the field. Right now, I feel really good, and I believe I will reflect that on the pitch, on the field. Thank you.